You're not alone. This is one of the things I do want to stress. All the problems you're facing, there's other people facing the exact same stuff. A lot of the problems we've got going on around are created by others. Whether it's for prying open our wallets and sucking the life out of us, whether it's relationships, whether it's agenda over diversity, equality, and all that other nonsense they're doing, or Me Too movement, or feminism. Take your pick. The war is on most of us. But it doesn't mean you have to give up. A lot of it we can just adapt and change stuff. Reality is, we're in the middle of a decline. I look at Spain and I see opportunities in villages that are struggling with populations. Cheap land, nice place to live. The only thing you need to bring to the table is ways of generating your income. And get nomad visas, and places are paying you up to 15,000 euros to go and live there. There's houses you can buy for like €1 and stuff. Don't get me wrong, you'll have to renovate them, you'll have a time period. You'll have to be careful you don't get a shack, a ransack with no roof on it. You want something that's repairable. But often the problems we face is we look inside our own rooms, not outside it. We look inside those comfort zones. They've had the same answers because we ask the same questions day in, day out. We don't think big enough. We don't think outside the box. I moved overseas originally in 2007. You think how long that is? And I've managed to survive in the Philippines, where most jobs are reserved for Filipinos, most companies are reserved for Filipinos, and yet we thrive there. Because part of being out there on the riskier end of life is you have to create your opportunities, you have to create your futures, you have to find your own way. Nobody's there to hold your hand, and to be perfectly blunt, that's the problem in the UK. They're constantly telling you what to do. Look at this nonsense around what you can say online from Starmer, yet allegedly he's got some gagging orders going into newspapers. He's probably he probably is the most extreme British Prime Minister we've ever had. But we can either get sucked into it, or let the dogs fight amongst themselves. You got the left and the right and the internal politics all fighting each other. Starmer ain't gonna last. And as the saying goes, better the devil you know sometimes, but in this case I doubt it. But back on track, yeah. So that's a prime example. Sidetracked. That's what we do to ourselves all the time. We go off on a tangent, we start trying to do something and change our focus. See, it's like today, look at this. It's been bloody raining all day. Look, it's still raining, you can see the rain coming down there. But this is my second walk of the day. I still come out when it's raining because my weight isn't going to lose itself. So you commit to it, you do something about it. We control our destinies. Now, I wasn't already living on the coast in Spain, I would be looking at some of these visa pieces myself. Because to be perfectly blunt, I'm getting job offers coming in at the minute where I can work pretty much 95% remote. And when I start going down that road, that's my exit. But this is the key thing, guys. You've got to create what you want. You have to think, do you want this? Do you want this? You can have this every day of the week if you want. You've got to outline where you want to be and what you want to do. The failure in life is not that you failed, but because you never tried. When I moved to the Philippines, there was plenty of people who expected me to fail, but nearly 8 years later, they ain't around anymore. When I went to Spain, same. In fact, what's actually happened is the opposite. Been a few people moved to Spain, a few people moved to the Philippines. A lot of people have got married to people from the Philippines, based on my YouTube, and prior to my YouTube, my old blog, because it was all about the possibilities and the choices and taking the risk. Because you'll get everyone else, the naysayers will say, oh, that's impossible. Oh, what if something goes wrong? Oh, yeah. Guess what? My car blew up. I had to wipe out my emergency funds in the bank. But guess what? I cut my expenditures back this month and for the next 2 months, replacing my reserves. I'll tell you how much I keep as reserves. That's between me and the bank. But the point being is, we need to be adults about this. These are our problems, our issues, and nobody else's. Yeah, your boss may be a dick, but let's face it, you can change jobs. You can wait it out and watch him fail. Because if it's a business, if it's a school, medical centre, they're obviously answering into others, and if they can't solve things because they're useless, they'll go. Most of these jobs have only got a 2-year life expectancy anyway, so it's whether you want to stay or not. Where I am, we have a massive churn. I think I'm the last person for the south, the London area, and definitely one of the few for the whole business, north and south, that's been there for more than 2 years. Massive churn. So people are being replaced, companies become desperate, which tells you there'll always be opportunity to find a crap job, because there's always going to be vacancies, because crap companies create crap jobs, so they get high churn, so they get desperate. And it just keeps that revolving door going. That sounds a bit negative. No, it isn't actually. It just means if you went away for 6 months and come back, you'll better drop into something. And that's the reality. A lot of people figure they're not going to be able to find a job, not going to be able to do this, not going to... You're talking yourself out of doing stuff again. But like I said, not everything's about doing everything today. I want to buy a farm for the family. I'm still working out where. It's going to be in Spain, but I'm thinking where, logistically, and also around the fact that I want to have a fishing pond there. I want to have it so there's some accommodation there, so it can be used as a retreat. Basically, I want a working farm without any farm animals. But that's my thing. Same as my motorbike. As you know, I've got the new car. So, car's done. A little bit earlier than expected. I refilled the bank. Going to update my motorcycle license. I need to go, was it A2, A1, so I can get the bigger bike. So that's next on my list, and by the time I finish that, I'd already got the money together for the motorbike. Point is, we make plans, you know, and as the saying goes, man plans, God laughs. But my view is, if you make no plans, you don't go anywhere. You're always talking about it, thinking about it, but doing nothing about it. Another thing we've done recently in the house, just as a little idea, just as a bit of perspective, is I've got April and the kids to actually work out where they actually want to go, what they want to see. Because everyone's got a different view on what they want. You know, a lot of, parents go, "Oh, we'll go to Disneyland." Oh, well, Disneyland's definitely off my calendar with the agenda on there at the moment with the whole woke problems in Disney. So they ain't getting my money. But my wife's found a nice one in the Netherlands, And then I thought of Fantasia in Germany, which is another fantastic one. But at the same time, we forgot to ask the kids. This is what I was saying. We asked the kids what they want to do, because we're going to go up to Germany or the Netherlands for a few days at a theme park. We're going to go up for 2 weeks, and I know my son's like, he likes the World War II stuff. So go and see the V2 sites, go and see Auschwitz and all the bits and pieces that went on there, along with possibly where the D-Day landings happened. But the point being is, it becomes a family thing, and one of the things for me is which is important, is a lot of people are anti-Israel at the moment without understanding the politics of what happened in World War II. Because, as the saying goes, relating to history does repeat itself, and the reason that it repeats itself is because people forget. So we don't educate our kids on the history of what happened, and while our teachers are busy trying to indoctrinate our kids into God knows what gender it is this week and all that crap, this is where we end up back where we started probably 100 years ago. Matt, you doing the glue? No, I'm just a bit of reality. It's our job to make sure our kids are ready for the future. To hell with the schools, and do not rely on them. Do not expect your school to be teaching your kids to read and write properly. Do not expect your kids to be the schools to be teaching your kids to do mathematics. They're fixated on this well-rounded people nonsense. It's a liberal, well, no, it's not liberal. It's a far left bloody agenda. It's not liberal. As you can see, it does irritate the hell out of me. Because I think this is where we've got some major problems, and they're brewing. They haven't happened yet. I can see it brewing, a bit like a cup of tea when I get back out this rain. But guys, yeah, main thing is keep moving. Set yourself goals. Set yourself some ideas. Get yourself a whiteboard. Get yourself a picture board. Whatever you need to get yourself moving. And then start planning how you're going to do it. I mean, one of the things I have is, I think I've shared it before, is my whiteboard is broken down into little pockets of money. So for example, there is no money for the motorbike yet. I've got another 900 euros to put in the bank, the Spanish bank, and then after I've done that, I can actually allocate 300 a month minimum towards the motorbike. I separate all these little pots of money, and they're all like little projects, mini projects, but you know you can get them. Because once you start seeing the money accumulating, it's now real. You see your first 300 euros towards that motorbike that's 6,800 or 7,200. And you start deducting that money off. It's getting a bit cheaper, isn't it now? And you keep that money safe for it. It's these little things. That's how I get things moving. Because it doesn't matter what the week's done. I can look in those little pots and go, I'm a bit closer to the motorbike this week. I'm a little bit closer to getting the farm. I'm a little bit closer to paying the mortgage off. The car's not as important at the minute because unless I'm going to pay it in bulk in the first year, there's no need to pay it off in a rush. I put I think it was 5,000 or 6,000 euros deposit down, so it's not urgent. But I just want to stress, guys, you're not alone. You're not doing anything that nobody's gone through before. The problem you've got is a lot of this crap that we're dealing with is like being in touch with your feelings. It's a woman thing. We're men. And if you are women, yeah, you're entitled to be in touch with your feelings. But from my view, men should be men. And although we get kicked down, what we should be able to do is speak to other men about the crap that's going on in our lives. But thanks to the demise of the pubs that all become Toby's Taverns and Harvesters and other crappy restaurants, the demise of the pubs has been occurring for a long time, which has isolated a lot of guys. But I will say, find groups, make sure they're all positive, because if you're negative and the group's negative, it's not doing you any favours. If everyone meets on a Friday and everyone says how crap work is and that's the Friday, that's airing and venting. But if you're sitting online talking the same crap every day, that's festering, that's just dwelling in it. Pointless. Difference between venting on a bad week to actually doing something about it. In the same way, if you just moan about it every week, the problem is that you're not moving, you're not doing something about it. And I get a lot of time there is very little you may be able to do. You may be stuck with a mortgage, you may be suffering with I don't know, like myself, got my degree, I've got a last bit to do, and to be perfectly honest, I'm probably going to focus on that on Friday, because once that's over the line, I'm ready to wrap up. But that comes from planning and moving, not staying stagnant, not blaming everybody around you for your problems. Yes, I work often with very incompetent people, but the good thing is once I go, how incompetent people, well, their incompetence will come out, because when they try and steal your work, etc., you're not there anymore. You walk people up that cliff, and as you leave them with it. It's up to them to sort themselves out. We're not here, we're not the saviour of everybody. I talk to you guys because I like talking to you guys, and I like you guys to actually send me private messages and emails and stuff. So I enjoy that, because sometimes I think I'll knock it on the head, but then somebody sends me a message and then I'll think I'll do another few videos. But the point is, for me, it is helping others, and when I sit and talk and put stuff forward, I like seeing other people's results. I like seeing people being able to... Oh, the squirrels are following me. See, I brought peanuts the other day, look. There's about the 7th squirrel now has come up saying, where's my peanuts? And these are just as bad, the ducks. Well, any of the birds, actually. As soon as they know you're a regular with food, they follow you around. Like if I stood here once. It's like I've got them under radio control. Got no food, guys. Well, anyway, guys, yeah, have a good week. But I do recommend just planning your stuff out, whether it's a whiteboard, a notepad, a picture board. Just put stuff together. Do some research on it as well. Because you know the weird thing is, when you start researching things, it starts to become feasible. You know, it's a bit like the nomad visas. When you start looking at them and go, oh, I didn't realise there was a nomad visa. Well, now you do. Or you start looking and you find that some places will pay you to move there. As long, I think you've got to stay 4 years. For me, it'll take me that long to finish renovating a house. But another idea, I'm thinking about building a community. If you're interested in that, let me know. This will be basically finding some... I've already emailed a mayor. I've already emailed a mayor. It's because I said email, I said that's why it went off. Emailed a mayor about land, because for me, There's loads of places in Spain that have got lots of land and not enough people, and I'd like to develop a community, but part of that is the community's being sustainable. But we'll see what happens. Like I said, I'll start small, work big. Got the house, now onto the farm, and I'll see where the farm ends up. Be nice to be a garden centre, wouldn't it? April would love that. She always complains about the amount of plants I got now. Anyway guys, I'll let you carry on. Take it easy.